How beautiful would it be if you could go through life with no regrets, without any regrets? Well, plenty of people wish that was the case with their retirement plan. Boy, that's something you don't want to regret. Get their plan right. Back with us today, Gary Mattson, Laurel Stewart, the father-daughter duo, the team at Mattson Financial, a full-service financial and retirement firm right here in the Grand Rapids area, also popular radio show host. Good morning to you once again, Gary and Laurel. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, good to be here.
Thanks for having us.
My pleasure. Hey, how common is it to meet with someone that has regrets when it comes to their retirement plan? How often have you heard that?
Well, it's funny because I feel like a lot of times we hear it. Somebody comes in, we discuss, our philosophy and all those details and really get to know them, and then they say before they leave after that first meeting, their regret was they didn't come in sooner. I think a lot of times there's kind of a stigma out there that they're going to be judged by somebody when they talk about their finances. That can be scary, but really it's just about a conversation and getting started. And you've done so great, with saving money over time, and you want to be rewarded for that. So we want to make sure that you can come in early enough, get a line of sight on what you've done so far, and maybe any tweaks that you need to make moving forward.
Absolutely. You don't want to wait to that moment where you're like, oh, it seems like it's too late. What's that obstacle?
Right.
There's always something, right? There's that common thing that you are hearing over and over again, that common obstacle people like that are facing that waited too long.
Yeah, I would have to say it comes down to the things they didn't think about. Taxes being one of those, diversification. So many times, we had a couple that are CPAs that became our clients, and they're in the business. And 3 years of being our clients and showed them how we actually defer assets or actually put assets in a place where you're not paying taxes on it. After 3 years, we got this wonderful email from them saying we had no idea that we could have this much money and income over time and pay so little in taxes. So it's understanding where you're at, what's your lifestyle that you want to do, and how you position assets to be able to take advantage of those scenarios that are available to you. And it's unfortunate that people don't know what they don't know. I mean, It sounds like a funny phrase, but it's very true. So sometimes you don't know what to ask. And that's why we have a financial checklist that we go through every single time with all our clients, making sure we're hitting every topic, not missing anything. And somebody will say, well, gee, I didn't remember this, or I didn't know about that. Why does that matter? And we go into it because it could produce taxes down the road, or have loss of assets that we didn't anticipate, or it could even be an estate problem down the road for your family members. So again, having that complete checklist as a financial roadmap, understanding all the pieces that work together, the 5 pieces of the financial retirement puzzle, is so important.
There's got to be a first step. I mean, no one wants to find themselves in that spot. Is that checklist really the first step so you don't get to that regretful day?
I would say that the first step is making a phone call. Really finding out where you're at. Are you on track for retirement? Are you in retirement and missing some of the opportunities you had? We had clients in East Lansing, and long ago, they just sold all their assets, retirement assets, paid the taxes on it, and just put it in CDs. We don't need it. We're going to put it there for our grandkids. And unfortunately, they end up paying $6,000 to $7,000 a year in taxes that they wouldn't otherwise paid if they put it in a deferred account. So once again, it's what you don't know that can harm you. So it's the first step is getting information, explaining where you're at, what your goals are, and then tailoring an opportunity to have information tailored to you to get you where you want to be.
And a lot of times clients come in, or radio listeners or TV callers, and they'll say, I'm happy with my advisor. They've done well for me with returns, but that's it. We haven't talked about tax planning, and specifically, we like to talk about the little things like Social Security optimization or your required minimum distribution plan that starts now when you're 72. And so they're just kind of scratching their head. Why hasn't anybody talked to me about that? And that's really important for us, because if you're getting a proper investment strategy, that recommendation or any advice there, you should equally have a tax planning strategy in place, because like we talk about, you're taking money out of a pre-tax account, you have to pay taxes on it. If we don't know if you're in the right tax bracket or other strategies that you could use, you might be paying too much to the government that you didn't need to.
Oh, well, we want to keep as much as we can in our own pockets, I'm sure. Now, let's get some solid advice right now for someone watching. Putting a retirement plan together, is there anything that you feel has to be a part of it, something that is absolutely crucial?
I would go with the paramount that if you're almost to retirement, 36 months or less, number one is that you do not want the markets to influence when you're planning to go. So I would say that you want to put 18 months of money from your 401k into what we call a stable value fund, or an instrument out there that's interest bearing only, so that when you walk out the door, no matter what the markets are doing, you have that steady income for the next 18 months, and the markets won't affect that.
Provides a lot of relief, not knowing what's going to happen with COVID and layoffs and things too.
And so that gives you the opportunity to know the income's going to come in, and then your financial advisor can take the assets and actually do well for you. If the markets are down, buy in more. If the markets are up, harvest those wins and put them in a position so you have more money down the road. So I would say if you're in the financial red zone, 36 months or less, that's a huge one.
You know, you discussed this morning and previous times that we've spoken, you discuss the things that some of the people who might be wealthy are doing all the time, and a big part of the world is tax planning. Why is tax planning such a big focus?
Well, because it's really about what you can control. We know we can't control the markets going up or down.
We wish, right?
Yeah, if we could do that, right? But we can control what tax bracket we're in. And let's just look at it. In 2020, tax bracket 1 was 12%, and the very next tax bracket after that was 22%. That's a 10% increase. So any dollars you had coming in over that 12%, now you're paying 22% on. But I want the income, but I want to pay the tax. Can you do that? Well, yes. With strategic planning and how you're doing it, we can take money from an IRA. So many times people say, well, I'm not working, I can't have that Roth IRA. No, you still can have a Roth IRA. So we take money from an IRA, pay the taxes on it, convert it to a Roth IRA, so you can have those funds in the future so you're not paying taxes on those. And that's just one strategy you can use. There's so many more that you can explore depending upon where you're at.
And looking at that too, I mean, Dad mentioned 12% or 22%, and obviously they go up from there, and that's just federal. We still have the state of Michigan, which is 4.25, or depending on what state you live in, and then maybe even your city tax. So there's a lot that really adds up over time.
Something that you definitely want to look into, and if you have questions that are needing some answers, you can talk to the folks at Mattson Financial, because they have something special for our audience right now at home. Can you tell us about that?
For the first 5 callers, if you've saved $250,000 or more for retirement, this is a great time to give us a call, and let's just schedule a meeting to start talking about what do you want retirement to look like. We really talk about those dreams, goals, and desires, and then we're going to compare that with your current plan and maybe make any recommendations or tweaks to make sure we get you where you need to be.
Don't be one of those people that was in the room going, boy, I wish I'd done it sooner. Right? If you're looking to rebuild or looking to build a regret-free retirement, Mattson Financial has that great offer. Again, as you heard right now, the first 5 callers that have saved $250,000 or more, that are retired or nearing retirement, you got a complimentary full-blown retirement plan waiting just for you. This allows them to sit down with you personally, provide you with a personal roadmap, analyzing where you are right now and discussing your best steps to really get ready for a successful retirement. Get that game plan to get you where you need to be. There's the number to call on your screen, 616-514-3831. Excuse me. Again, 616-514-3831.